Hey, it's Mark Wahlberg. Welcome to Click TV.
Welcome to Click TV.
Hello, welcome. Today we're going to talk about Skyfall, which is out in cinemas now, unless you're in the Americas, in which case it won't be out until the 9th of November. But we're going to spoil it for you anyway.
You must be joking.
Firstly, because these tend to go down a negative route very quickly, we're going to state...
We like things sometimes.
We like this movie.
Yeah.
Regardless of what we say over the next few minutes.
Which is hopefully going to be positive stuff.
We'll try, but it doesn't seem to stick.
Yeah, remember the Dishonored debacle.
We
liked that game too.
Things. Skyfall is my favourite Bond movie, possibly ever, I don't know. I'm not a massive Bond fan.
Me neither. I think there are two good Bond movies.
Which is the other one?
Casino Royale?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Bond fans will probably hate you.
Oh, James.
They can't reach me. I'm on the telly box.
I like License to Kill. I like Timothy Dalton. I like some of the Connery ones. But I think that this, in terms of... Okay, you can make a distinction here between making a good Bond film and making a good film. I think Skyfall focused on making a good film first.
Yes.
And wasn't overly concerned about being really slavish to Bond, which was good. At the same time, brought back quite a few Bond things, made him a little bit more slightly funnier.
Yeah, well, he's funny because he was mean. I'm like, man, he's really mean. It's hilarious.
I don't know.
It's poor civilians.
And they brought back the kind of slightly chauvinist aspect as well, and the end of the movie is very much a callback to the other movies. But yes, this is a good film first, as opposed to a good Bond film. Agree?
Agreed. A lot. I'm a writer, you see, I have words.
The things that you liked about the movie?
I don't know, I think I liked that it was set in Britain a lot, because he's an English spy and you rarely see him in England. So you're like, hey, look, it's the underground.
Yeah.
I've been on that. And he's jumping on the back of it. Brilliant.
And it doesn't make it, it's not just an excuse to go off to an exotic location. They actually have a story.
Although they do that.
They do a bit. Yes, they do. Some amazing looking places. They go to Macau and they're in Turkey at the beginning. There's a great shot at the beginning where they're over the Turkish bazaar, and it's the exact same shot as Taken 2.
Yeah, only good.
Only a good film, and shot very well, because Skyfall is the best looking Bond film I think ever as well. It's shot by Roger Deakins, who's been nominated for an Academy Award for cinematography 9 times.
Did he win it?
He's never won it. So he might get another one for this, but he's worked with the Coen brothers a lot. He's worked with Mendes before on Road to Perdition, and this is a stunning looking movie.
Yeah, it is.
Good things.
Good things, yeah. People, Daniel Craig, I liked him in it, because he's a jerk.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really unpleasant in it, and I kind of like that.
That works. I think they wanted him to come in and be this sort of stoic Bond.
Yeah.
I do wish he could crack a smile, or tell a joke that didn't seem like if you didn't laugh, he's going to murder you.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we?
Is that what we're looking for in a Bond?
I don't know. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I liked the way he didn't really forgive Moneypenny for shooting him at any stage. There was no kind of like, hey, it's all right. He was like, no, he shot me, and that was shit.
Do you know that relationship was supposed to have chemistry in it?
Huh?
I would imagine.
I'd imagine getting a bullet in the chest would end a lot of the chemistry in any relationship.
Well, that is a problem I have with that. I mean, the female roles aren't particularly good, and Naomi Harris, I don't think, really knows what she's doing there, and doesn't get a lot to do.
I don't think saying the female roles are necessarily very good, because we had Judi Dench as M. She got a lot of screen time. She's very good.
For some reason, I don't really think of her as a woman.
That's putting it mildly.
Unfair. In this movie, she's not the Bond girl figure, which is good. It means that
yes, thank God.
Sure.
Sorry, Miss Dench.
But we have Bernice Marlowe as well.
Yes,
I thought did a good job.
Yes, she did. For the 7.5 minutes she was in this feature, she was excellent.
Shot in the face, playing a drinking game. Essentially,
yes. At least she died the way she lived. You know.
Good things, more good things.
I liked the action in it because it wasn't very highly choreographed. Well, it probably was, but it looked very rough and ready, and it consisted of Bond kind of kicking people in the shins, and they go, "Oh God, my leg!" and then he'd rough them up a bit.
It's also a strange one because there's no massive set piece in this movie. I mean,
the opening is quite set piecey.
Yeah, but in terms of scale, there isn't something that you expect in a summer blockbuster. I mean, it's not a summer blockbuster; it's a Bond movie. So when there's a lot of trains in the film, for some reason, that maybe everybody really likes trains. But yeah, there's a set piece at the beginning, but then it never really reaches that kind of peak again until some of the ending, which is also quite
yes, but it's more focused than most Bond films. Like for some reason, I'm thinking of Die Another Day, where they had the space laser, or Goldeneye, where they had the space laser. Or Moonraker, where they had the space laser.
Well, there's no CG surfboard scene.
Yeah, no. But this was just he's like, "Hi, I'm going to come and kill you." Do you think Bond gets in the way? Bummer for Bond.
Do you think people are going to be disappointed with the size of the ending, though? Because it's essentially just a bunch of people sitting in a house waiting for stuff to happen.
Yes, like straw dogs.
Is
Yeah?
this you learning? This
Yeah,
is your movie learning
I
voice.
suggested it was like Home Alone earlier, and that did not go down well.
It's a siege movie, essentially. And I think
But that's good. It's intimate, and there's peril. You like peril?
I do. I like palpable peril. Oh, we're going for alliteration today. And I love where it goes in the end. The fact that there isn't just a face off. He doesn't have a fisticuffs with the baddie.
Well, I particularly like the way Javier Bardem, he was not into the fisticuffs. He was like, oh, it's so exhausting. He's like, none of that, please. Why'd you be running around? I have a helicopter.
Yeah,
he,
he's gonna try.
he was even out of breath hiking up after the 2 geriatrics. And he was like, whew, hold on a minute there. And I'll shoot you.
He's a great bad guy.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
And I mean, is it the first time we've had a decent bad guy for Craig? Because he's had really, really woeful bad guys so far.
Yes, well, in Casino Royale, the bad guy was kind of nebulous. You're like, oh, is it this guy? No, he got killed. Oh, it's this guy? No, he just killed him.
He was the guy with the leaky blood eye.
But he died very soon. Well, relatively
He
soon.
died pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then Quantum of Solace was.
We shouldn't talk
We
about
don't
that.
talk about Quantum
We
of
won't.
Solace. Partly that's why Skyfall I think seems so good, because Quantum of Solace was so appalling.
Bitch.
They also had, it's been 4 years since Quantum of Solace because of the massive breakdown in MGM, so I think they had a bit longer to make a proper movie. And they also had a proper director, their first ever Academy Award winning director in Sam Mendes. So I think all these things contribute to making a very good film.
Yes, that's true.
Any negatives?
You didn't like the hacking.
The
This guy.
hacking, oh yeah,
This
we're going
guy.
back, yes, on my big long list of stuff. I find hacking and coding sequences in movies intensely boring, and there's nothing cinematic about them. They try in this by having just this wall of
They have a
figures.
shape. The fucking shape.
It makes no sense in terms of what are you trying to decode here? And I just think that whenever a movie does that, it bogs down. And this at 143 minutes is quite long. I think getting rid of that would not be a problem. I also think the plot that Bardem has to do what he's doing, which isn't really super clear.
That's true, but you're not given an awful lot of time to think about it. 'cause
No.
For such a long movie, it does have a bit of
How does he
breakneck
get out of
pace.
that cage?
What case?
How does he get out of his cell?
I don't know. He has a melted face.
You like the melted face?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That was my not so subtle segue.
Let's talk about the face melt.
Hydrogen cyanide face melt scene,
Yes.
which I think was one of the best because it really, I don't know, gave him character as a Bond villain rather than a guy with a bleedy eye. This guy had like melt face and no teeth, and I was like, oh, his teeth. Oh wait, his face.
But it also made you feel a bit sorry for him, which
Yeah,
I think was
it
the
did.
idea. I mean, he's a proper character in that he's a bit tragic.
And he was an agent as well, which I actually liked the comparison because he explicitly states that he was a good agent while Bond is kind of not a good agent. Like Bond is good at having sex with ladies and beating up people, but as an actual spy and intelligence gatherer, he's maybe not the best.
No, not very subtle.
No, not so much.
But that feeds into the story then between Bond and M, which is
Yeah.
the strongest it's been as well, and they get a lot of that in the final 20 minutes, which is really nice. I think Judi Dench, who dies in the movie, M dies.
Yeah. How's that for a spoiler?
Yeah. With spoiler alert up on the screen there. But I think that it leads into a very, very nice ending. Obviously, it then goes in a very generic way for the Bond series.
Yes, because we're introduced to Moneypenny, and you're like, oh, hey, I didn't miss her. And we've got male M again. And you're like,
Whose
great,
surname
he
is
was
Mallory.
He was
We were never
Mallory,
going to
yeah.
guess this.
But yeah, it was like, great, it's Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe
And you're like,
Fiennes.
yeah, he didn't really impress all that much in the film.
No.
Like, I don't know.
He got shot a bit.
He did, aye. He fought in Northern Ireland, so bless him. Although I'm not sure for which side.
So,
We'll skip on that, past that one.
I suppose the ending maybe goes to a place that will annoy some people. I mean, I don't know if it'll...
The very ending, but the actual finale in Skyfall, which is a thing. It's not like
Yes.
a verb. It's a place in Scotland,
and
which is not a Scottish accent.
But it's about his backstory as well, something
Yes.
we've never really had in the
Or
movies before.
never really cared about. You're like, Bond is an orphan. You're like, sure, is Bond even a character? But in this one he was for once. So that's good.
I have nothing else bad to say about this film.
Yeah, which is a first, no doubt.
Well,
We like something. Brilliant!
We've got 2 more Bonds to come featuring Daniel Craig over the next few years. Afterwards we'll be getting a new person, possibly Idris Elba. I think people just say that whenever there's going to be a Bond because he was touted last time as well.
Whenever anyone has any sort of a role, I usually say put Idris Elba or Eric Bana or Hugo Weaving in it. Just, male, female, human, non-human. Just put one of those 3 in it and you're bound to get some luck.
But in the meantime, it could be a really good trilogy for the character. Maybe?
Could be, yeah.
That's sweet. We'll just ignore Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
So that's Skyfall. That's in cinemas now and in cinemas in the States from the 9th of November. And if you haven't seen it yet, which you might have, you should probably go see it again.
How's it going?
Shooty.
Yeah.